All right, ladies. That was totally my bad because I wasn't connected to the hotel Wi-Fi. All these hotels. So, here's the deal. Let me go back to what we were saying. I know some of the ladies are going to have to hop on. Here's the deal. So, welcome back, ladies that lost me. I was just sharing that I lost the internet Wi-Fi. I wasn't connected to it this morning. So now we're back. We're on solid Wi-Fi here. So we're going to get this going. So just going back to what I was talking about the importance of meditation. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a long meditation of any sort. The ability to witness, to watch, to go within, and to allow your body to acclimate to a new way of being. We really can bring this home in meditation. Otherwise, when we're just trying to take information in through our conscious mind, but our unconscious mind, our body is like, nope, I'm not with it yet. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Sarka. Hi, Jessica. So I want you all to remember the conversation we had and the process we had when I led you inward and I had you imagine that you were buying something, that juicy thing that was on the why my money is important list. And then we 10x'd it. And do you remember how your body felt? Right? So many people were like, I felt it in my solar plexus. I felt it in my chest. I felt it in my throat. I felt it in my back. It felt restrictive. I started crying. Anyone that was having those experiences, like I don't really understand why you did not join Money Miracles yet. Because this is an invitation. It really is. Hi, Leah. So I was sharing earlier that there was a woman that emailed me. And she was sharing that she found out of the blue that she's actually getting a tax refund. And that it triggered her body. So when it triggered her body, she felt this fear and it came over her and it felt like this memory of you're not historically good with your tax returns. So this right here lets me know that this woman, her ability to hold this money or any amount of money that randomly falls into her lap is not that great. And not because she's not made in perfect wholeness to do so. It's that she has a deep belief and her nervous system is in the space of you're not good. There's not enough. This is going to go. You can't keep it. So she's already getting her body and her energy into this mode before the money even comes. Do you all catch that? Like, does that make sense or resonate for you? Because you may also feel that. This can happen when someone gets a bonus check, when someone wins the lottery, when an inheritance comes. We do this thing where we start projecting we're not going to have enough money. Now, here's another thing that happened. I was having a conversation with Lauren Dorsey, and Lauren and I had a conversation that was on Facebook. And when we were chatting about it, she was talking about how she was about to sign up for Money Miracles program. And she had this fear that what if I can make the $197 payment now, but what if I can't make the $197 6 months from now? What if my money just drops? What if I just don't have enough income and I don't have it then? And I remember when she reached out to me and we had that conversation, and this is a conversation that I have with a lot of clients that are thinking about joining any of my programs. And here's what I have to say to that. Check in on the way that you're projecting to be broke in the future. Check in and notice, catch yourself about how you are planning to not have enough in the future. Because this is a real problem. Because what we're doing, whether we're conscious of it or not, we're forecasting. We're setting a vision free and sending energetic signals to all of life. And we're basically saying one of two things. I'll have enough, I'm good. I'll not have enough, I'm scared. Which one do you think that money flows towards more? Right? In my body, Leah, did you sign up for Money Miracles? I don't know everyone that signed up yet because I'm still looking at the list. But here's what I have to tell you all. This is the work that I teach. This is the work that I do. Because here's the thing. When I used to look at my bank account and I'd pull up that Wells Fargo app, ugh, my stomach, my life, my everything. I was so scared. Why am I so scared of this damn app? And when I would find out that money's coming, I would start it's like, you know that funny meme with the lady that's looking to the side and there's all these numbers and symbols? That was me thinking of what's going to happen with this money. Oh my God. And it's like, well, it's coming, but it's going to be gone. So I want you to know that we can never overcome this with conscious mind only. We just can't. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because there's something that's, you're out of reach with the things that you desire. That's not it. That's not what I'm telling you here. I'm just letting you know that we have a very small percent of us that is operating and making choices from our conscious mind, right? So our unconscious mind, some people would say it's 5% of our conscious mind we are using, and the rest, 95%, is our unconscious mind. Our deepest thoughts, beliefs, programming. Some people give other numbers, right? But nevertheless, you see that there's a small part of you that's operating from the I desire to have. I deserve this. And then there's the part of you that is basing everything on everything that you've seen. Everything that you've seen growing up, everything that you see in your environment, what you believe to be worthy of, what you believe that is available for you. And from this place, we make decisions. We can allow things in or not allow it in. So knowing how our body responds is so important, but I want you to know that we have to go in there. When I say we're going in, it's like we're in these space discovery, right? We're going into this other dimension, but really what we're doing is we're learning to drop within, to close our eyes, and I teach you how to have awareness so that you can notice what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how to change it. Now, this work is the work that changes things, because when you understand your body responses and you understand how to guard your thoughts and then shift, you begin to develop a new relationship with your subconscious, with your body, and money. But not always money, right? Money is the symbol, right? Money is the symbol of what we're talking about here. Really, what it's about is safety. It's about worthiness. It's about you understanding that you can have it and that you deserve it. Not just from a conscious place where you're like, I can have it, I can deserve it. I wrote down the affirmations 10 times today. So we're going to do a meditation, and I'm going to guide you into just explore what you're feeling. Now, hi, Amanda. I want you to know that it's not your fault, whatever your programming is. It's not your fault. You didn't choose it. I didn't choose it. I just watched my mom and dad struggle about money all the time, and that there wasn't enough. And when there wasn't enough, things got scary and things got intense, and it was panic mode. And what you're going to notice is once you do this work with me and you get to the other side, you start to notice how many people are in not enoughness. Like they're just living in lack. The lens that they see life through is lack and limitation and not enough, and what it does for them. The stress it causes, it literally makes your life shorter. It can. That's how much we can stress over this, because money, the symbol that we know it to be, creates, will I have enough? Will I survive? Will I be loved? Am I safe? And this is big for us humans, right? So one of the two triggering things for us is love and money. And money is just a symbol, right? So going back to this thing that I was just saying, that it's not your fault, your programming. However, it is now your responsibility, because now you know. Now you know there's another way, and it's your responsibility to take yourself through the work, to do the unearthing of old ways, to ask, where did I learn this and why do I believe this? And to go within and give yourself the nourishment that you need, which is where I guide you. The other thing I want to remind you all, when you're working with your subconscious, the reason why we do these hypnotic meditations, right? The meditations that we do, you had a little taste of some of the meditations I do. We maybe dropped in for a few minutes on these live calls. But when I take you into a full-on process and I take you into the space of a hypnotic meditation, know what hypnosis is. Hypnosis is taking you into a state where your brain waves drop down into a slower, relaxed state. That means that there's a slower state of being, and you become more open to suggestible. You're more suggestible. I can suggest a new way of being, and you receive it. Now, here's the deal. This is just what we have to know. When you are trying to guide yourself there, you can't go into the deepest state of relaxation. You cannot be in giving and receiving mode at the same time. And this is where women forget, because some women are like in this space of, I'll do it all on my own. But you can't. We're not designed to. You can't do it all on your own. When we're going into a state of pure relaxation and receiving, we totally let go. Right? Like, we're going to do this in a meditation here in a few minutes. But I want you to try this. Take your body wherever you're sitting, ideally sitting with your legs crossed or sitting with your feet touching the floor. I want you to sit like that, and I want you to drop your hands down into your lap, rest them on your knees, rest them on your thighs, and I want you to place your hands palms facing up in receiving mode. Erica, you know it. And Leah, you just can't. You can't. It's like, why struggle and make life hard, which is a habit that women do that keeps us stuck and small. So we can't give and receive at the same time. So let's get our body into receiving mode. I just want you to feel what this feels like for a moment. Get in your place like you're going to go into the most profound, life-changing meditation and sit like that right now, right? And as you sit like that, so for me, it's very easy for me to drop in like this, but I've been doing this for a long time. And I know what it's like to get into receiving mode. I also, as much as I am independent and such a boss bitch, at the same time, I understand that I cannot give and receive at the same time. So when I'm going into a space and I'm opening up for support and I'm opening up for something that I want to be, see, know differently, I have to go into receiving mode and I have to let go. So I want you to notice your palms. I want you to notice your chest. I want you to notice your belly. I want you to notice your shoulders. I want you to notice your throat. I want you to notice your jaw. And I want you just to signal to all of it, it's time to let go. There's nothing for you to do here. There's nothing for you to give here. There's nothing for you to force or make happen here. All you have to do is to go into receiving mode. So your eyes are closed and you're just working with your body here. How does it feel for you to go into receiving mode? You have nothing to do. You have nothing to force. You have nothing to make happen. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting. You can go into receiving mode and allow new information to take hold, to take root, and to shift things for you. Is it easy for you to drop into this space? Is your body ready? And let's open our eyes one more time. And the way I teach, as you know maybe by now, is that we go in and out because we want to get to know our inner world. The funny thing is that people go sometimes a whole lifetime without understanding how their inner world really feels. I know I didn't discover this until I was, 28, 38 now. 38. I was 28. And I was moving through life with so much anxiety, so much insecurity, so much unworthiness. And my doctors literally told me, like, you have a panic disorder. You have this. You have that. You need to take this medication. And I have 3 medications. And I was like, I don't want to be like that anymore. So that's really how I started my spiritual journey, because I went to a spiritual center, looking for like some sort of relief. And I found so much more. But this is so key for our money too. Hi, Donna. Because if we see how I'm talking about our body relaxing, how easy was it for you to drop in? Were you able to feel when you signal to your body, I have nothing to do. I don't have to do the heavy lifting. I don't have to force or push. For any alpha woman, especially for an alpha woman that hasn't learned to open her heart yet, like, I feel like I'm alpha, but I'm also like, I want to be led. I want to be led. I love to be led, supported, held, all the things, but I know that I'm also here to lead. So there's this beautiful dance of me knowing like to soften and to be in receiving mode. But a lot of women are not taught that. And there's a lot of pushing, forcing, and all these things. And it actually works against us in a lot of ways. So as I taught you to go into this receiving mode, what we want to do is we're taking our brain waves and we're dropping them from a state of very high alert, which is right now. You may be very alert because you're here and you're listening to me. But what I want you to know is that when we go into we're about to fall asleep. You know that time where you're just about to fall asleep and you're like a little bit like, wow, my body's finally drifting off. You're very highly suggestible in that time because you're so letting go because you're about to go to sleep. And that's why they always say that sleep resets and recalibrates you to a space of like, even if you're having the worst day, most days you can go to sleep, and after a good sleep, you feel good and refreshed. So Franny says, yes, I want both. Leah says, at first there was resistance to softening, like disbelief that I have nothing to do. Great. That's great to know that that's there, right? And all we're looking is we're never judging. We're always just looking for what's there so that we can begin to rearrange. We are like master shapeshifters here. So in these highly suggestible states, hypnotic states, when I take you into these meditations and when you're going into these spaces, you are suggestible. That means when new information hits, you can receive it. But when you are in a space of trying to figure something out, you may have a conscious aha, but that's why the body doesn't get on board. So we have to take our body into a space where we are suggesting. But in order to suggest, there has to be a few things. There has to be an emotional availability. So for instance, you could YouTube a hypnosis. There's tons of them. Number one, I tell my daughter this all the time. I don't know these people. I don't know them. I don't want to let anyone into my subconscious that I don't know who the hell they are. There's a lot of weird shit on the internet. There's a lot of information that is like on the internet. And it's so important to know what energy you're welcoming into your body. This is the same way I feel about casual sex. I don't want everyone penetrating me. I don't want everyone's information and, beliefs and energy penetrating my subconscious. So we have to be mindful of what we're bringing in, right? So it's just interesting. We've become so accustomed to just like, let me go on YouTube. Like, we don't know what the hell's happening on there. So we just want to be mindful of what we're bringing in. The other thing is we have to have a connection sometimes. Like if there's a trust, if there's a belief, and we're opening ourselves up to be suggestible, we can bring in the new information and it just clicks. There's also the repetition piece, having it repeat, right? So this is why I created Money Miracles this way. I give you a hypnotic meditation. It's only 5 minutes because look, not everyone's down to do an hour meditation. So it's 5 minutes, but it's meant to be repeated, that week's lesson, reprogramming, 7 days. The new week comes, you have a new 5-minute hypnotic meditation. Reprogramming. So I understand how the subconscious works, so that's why I set you up this way. Now, going into this, let's go back to this idea of being suggestible. And you can't give and receive at the same time. So here's what I know, that when I really want to have a powerful shift, I have to let go of the notion that I have to do it all on my own. There's two ways that spirit works and supports us. Now, whether you call it spirit, you want to call it God, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it divine intelligence, call it what you will, but it's here. There's synchronicities. There's so many things that are happening in the world. And I want you to think of, let's just take a moment to think of this. Close your eyes, because this will support you. Close your eyes and think about a really beautiful synchronicity that has happened for you. Something that you know God's hand was in it, that the universe was absolutely conspiring for you. Think of that memory, think of that moment, think of that chance meeting, and remember it. This is the divine working in your life. And how did that feel? So opening your eyes and thinking of how God's hand is in things in your life. And the universe is just weaving at all times, weaving people into your life, weaving people out of your life. It's all by divine design, but it also has to do with your frequency. Because here's the deal. You have free will. So even though there's divine timing and there's infinite abundance and there's all these things that are available for you, at the same time, there's this thing. You have free will. You have to consciously choose when an opportunity presents itself, when a path reveals itself, when a door is in front of you, you have to choose to walk through it. That's the thing. And to walk through some of these doors, it requires courage and faith. It requires this faith in this intelligence that is operating things. And you never know what's on the other side until you walk through. The same thing, like I have this saying about taking a leap of faith. You will never know the net that catches you unless you actually leap. You can listen to me all day talk about my net. I can talk about all the ways that I took big risk, all the ways that I was like, oh my God, I did this scary thing. But that's my net. We have the same, our net is made of the same things. But the reality is that in order for you to know how supported you are, how good you are, how caught and held you are, you have to do the things. Or else you'll never know. And I have chills because it's pretty freaking profound. But it's here. And you'll never know it unless you leap. Otherwise, you'll always sit kind of back, one step back, and watch and wonder, what could have been? What about this thing that everyone else talks about? What about this thing that everyone says happens? So I want you to know that you deserve to know it. But you have to stop trying to do everything on your own. So let's talk about those two ways that God, Spirit, Universe works in your life. One way is absolute miracle. You're like, wow, I don't know how that even unfolded. I couldn't have even imagined that for myself. It just happened. And that's what the miracle really is, because the miracle, whether it's a shift in perception for you to see differently, as the Course in Miracles would say, that absolutely creates miracles, because when you see something differently, you see yourself differently, everything shifts. Like everything it's like you unlocked a new level of life. It's here. It's profound. Now, when something happens like the check comes in the mail, or you get the call from someone and they're like, hey, this money's here for you. Or, hey, I want to give you $10,000. Like that really happened to Katrina in my first session of Money Miracles. Like she did the healing around her debt. She did the forgiveness. She did the work. We went in and she saw it differently. She had a miracle in her shift of perception. But then the other miracle came, the physical, the materialization of the miracle, where someone just offered her $10,000 out of the blue. This is how this stuff works. Now, the other way that Spirit, God, Universe works through you is it works through people. It works through people. Christina, I would definitely watch this from the beginning too, because it's a powerful session. God works through people. And I say this is one of my favorite quotes that like I share on my little Instagrams and stuff is, God works through people, be sure to let them in. Because here's what I know. There's been times in my life where I can look back and realize that God was working through people and I didn't let them in. I thought it was too good to be true. I thought I wasn't worthy. I thought I didn't deserve to have a seat at that table yet. So I shut it down. And looking back, I regret it because I told myself that that thing would always be available. Like, I'll do it later. I'll do it next year. I'll try when I'm ready. I think I need to be a little bit more smarter. I should be making more money. I should know more. And that opportunity wasn't available later. I feel like life came to show me like you had an opportunity here. This has happened with men, right? There was a time, I remember there was a super hot guy that used to train me at Barry's boot camp here in LA. He was so hot. I just thought, why would he like me, right? This was me when I was bartending. I had just gone through all this abuse. He didn't know about the abuse. Franny says she's been there too. He didn't know about all the things, but I had a mental Rolodex of all the things that made me unworthy. I wasn't even really aware of them. It was unconscious. But what I was doing was kind of swatting things away that I thought I wasn't good enough for. And there was also, Pablo, there was also an opportunity. I'll tell you, that was an opportunity with love and dating and a man. And now I'm like, when I look back at myself, then I was like, I was fucking hot. No wonder. Like, why didn't I see it? I didn't see myself then. So now, this has also happened in my business. So 3 years ago, there was a mastermind that I really wanted to be in. And I had an opportunity to be in it. And it was going to be a holy shit financial stretch. Like, I was going to have to loan money from my friend in order to make the first payment, which was like $3,500. And then I was going to have to pay, I think it was like $2,500 a month. And I was like, I'm making it, but I've only been making this much money for 3 months. Will I keep making it? Remember this conversation I said that happens for us women? It happened to me too. So I had this opportunity. I'll tell you, it was actually with Lewis Howes. And I got in touch with Lewis Howes. He wrote me back and he was like kind of tough with me. He was like, look, you don't even make enough money to be in this. But your income's not there. Like, you had to have $500,000 a year to make it. I was making, like, I just hit $200,000 in my business. And he was tough. He was like, I'm not going to hold your hand. But if you want to join, you can join. And I didn't fucking join. I didn't join. I was like, I went into Chris Harder's mastermind instead. And I regret it. I regretted it because I was like, damn, I could have been the least money in the room, the dumbest in the room at the time. I was not going to call it dumb. The most immature in my business in the room. But if I did it, it would have been like revolutionary for my business. So there's two ways to look at this. But here's the thing. Lewis Howes stopped doing the mastermind. I was like, I'll just do it I'll just do it later. I'll just do it later. Because I didn't want to go through the fire of being the person that was not even at that financial level. When I applied, I thought that you only had to make $250,000 a year, and it was actually $500,000. So we went through this whole thing, and I was like, I'm not meant to do it. But it kind of just like stayed with me. Because I saw the people that did that mastermind and how they all were doing all the things. And I was like, damn, I should have did it. And I kind of just settled and did Chris Harder's. And it was like me settling on myself. And I want you all to know that, like, the things won't always be available. Now, here's another time this happened. My friends and I were talking about doing Platinum Partnership, Tony Robbins. Now, that's an $85,000 thing, and you have to pay for travel. So it's like a $150,000 investment. So I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, I'll just do it. Like, we were talking about just doing it. And Tony stopped doing it because the pandemic. There's like no travel. There's none of the things. So that one isn't the same because I just didn't have the opportunity to do it. They just stopped doing it. But things won't always be there. They won't always be there. That's my fucking point of this, right? And what I want you to know is that things evolve. People change. Opportunities changes. Prices go up. Things just look different. Don't tell yourself you're going to do stuff later and then not do it. Don't do that. Like, so that's my experience. But if you're like me, I'm a generator 3-5 in human design. So I learn by bumping up into things. So I have to learn the hard way, apparently, in life. But I share this with you because if you are someone that can do the things that you don't think you can do, you will have the benefit from it. So I'll tell you how I kind of had like my own personal redemption. I went into this other mastermind. And in this mastermind, there were all these women, and they were so fabulous, but they were different than me at the time because they dressed a certain way. They were like, calling themselves queens and all this thing. And this was right after the thing happened with the mastermind with Lewis Howes. And I went into Chris Harder's. It didn't work. It wasn't my vibe. And I was like, I want to go into something more feminine. But it was interesting because I have always been so masculine in my world. So I've been masculine where I'm like, do it all myself, make it happen, single mom energy, warrior energy. And I realized that like this warrior archetype wasn't serving me anymore. Like, I was just done. Like 2 years ago, I was just done. I don't know if y'all know this, but I went to Bali and I have a little like crown tattoo here on my arm. And I was like, I'm just going to step it fully into this queen archetype. Conscious mind. Conscious mind was so ready for the queen archetype. But my body was like, no, you're not. So let me tell you about this. I found this group of women that were just like so fucking extra when it comes to like being in the queen. They were like, just, I'm going to dress this way and I'm going to travel this way and we're going to do this. And I joined this group where we were doing this luxury travel mastermind. Same thing, $35,000 program. It was doable for me financially. It wasn't such a big like stretch for me. It was doable. And I go into this group and all of these women were like so particular about how they dress, how they travel. They were just buying their first class tickets. They were buying their $5,000 bags. And I was over here like, yeah, I don't have any of those things yet. Like, I know about them. I bought myself nice bags, but I still could feel like there was a part of my body that felt like I don't belong here. So I had this group of women and I had a call with them and I actually was very vulnerable. And I shared. I said, you know what? I feel like I don't belong in this group because there's a part of me that tells me that I'm not sophisticated enough to be here. And by me expressing that, and then they were like, well, why? Why do you feel that way? And I said, oh, I don't know. Maybe because I used to sell drugs because I was abused and, you know, all this messy. I feel like I'm the messy one. Like I was just sharing and being vulnerable because I know that subconscious shit, if you don't share it, it's just going to keep haunting you. And I'm not available for the haunting. I'm available for the breakthrough. So I was sharing all this stuff and I was like, okay, this is where I'm at. And in that moment, I had so many new friends that were formed because they all reached out and they were just like, I felt the same way. This is how I feel. This is what happened to me in my past. And there was like this energetic upgrade from me sharing where I was and deciding I don't want to own that identity anymore. I don't want to own this story anymore. And I'm done with this shit. And when I did, it just liberated me. And I'll tell you, over the course of like the next few weeks, my money was just growing. It was just craziness. And after that, I just like, in the past 2 years, everything has just, holy shit. Like, it's just been game changing. It's been life changing. And in the past 4 months, it's really even gone even further where I'm just like having $100,000 plus launches. Like, you know, no thing. But I'll tell you, it wasn't a conscious thing. It's a willingness to get uncomfortable, a willingness to take a big fucking risk, and to do the things. I see you ladies tagging friends. Awesome. If you know someone that should benefit from this, but I'll tell you, this is in the private group, so not everyone will know, but you can invite them into the group and do this. But I want you to know, if anyone is feeling this message and you haven't joined Money Miracles yet, why not? Because chances are there's some of this stuff that I just shared. Look, I share my shit because I want you to know that I'm human and what it really takes for us to get to the other side. It takes vulnerability, as Melissa just said. It takes the courage. And it takes you doing the things. So I hear what Leah's saying. Let's read this. My vulnerability here is that I'm scared of investing in another thing that I won't complete. I think I won't follow through. So this is great because look what this information says. You don't want to disappoint yourself. You don't believe in yourself. I don't feel like I have the follow through. So let's have the conversation here. Let's have the conversation here. Because I'll tell you this. Every time we do that, we lose confidence in ourselves. So we lose confidence in ourselves because there's a part of us that feels like, and look, remember the story I shared about Lewis House, mastermind. I didn't want to disappoint myself. I had a fear of disappointing myself of what if I don't have enough money in month 3? Or I knew I was going to have to stand up in front of all those other people and I knew my business was still feeling like a little baby. And I was scared to be disappointed in myself and to not feel worthy. So now I know better that I'm like, just go through the fucking fire. Just go through the fire. Go through the fire, and will you have the discipline to take yourself through the fires in life so that you can get to the other side of your phoenix rising? Yes. Yes. Like, that's what we have to do. So Leah, and for anyone else, I had a woman in here. If you get on this chat, you can share your story here. She reached out to me and she goes, Nicole, she said, I am knee deep. No, I am neck deep in personal development. I joined a coaching certification. I'm doing personal growth. She's doing all these things. And she said, I'm afraid to join Money Miracles because I feel like, what if I just do another thing? What if I'm doing too much? And here's what I told her. This program is just going to complement everything you're doing. And here's what this is. Me joining something with me versus joining any old thing that's a course. I am fucking in this thing with you. You ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. You come to the coaching, I'm going to coach you. You open up and share what's really there for you, I'm going to hold space for you. I believe in all of you so freaking much, and yet that's what's different. I'm not going to say that that's not present in other groups because it absolutely is. There's amazing teachers out in the world that are doing work that is on their heart. I just happen to be one of them. I ask all of you to meet me in your commitment. Meet me in your commitment and I'm going to meet you. But here's what else is going to meet you. That divine intervention. That divine intervention changes things. So remember that divine intervention is the way that God meets you. The universe shows up in your life with a synchronicity or that feeling inside that is like, oh my gosh, something's happening, something's changing. The way that spirit moves through you. There's a part in my book that I talk about this. That you don't get to move life. You don't get to say, oh, that will happen when this happens. That's you trying to micromanage life. Life happens because life moves through you. You move when life moves you. So when life moves you and something feels like a yes, you have to say yes. You don't have to consciously understand how it's going to work out. But if you just allow life to move through you uninhibited, like just flow, for it to guide you, take you places, you're going to find yourself in a lot of places that actually make you very uncomfortable. But I'll tell you this, it's for your own benefit. There is a fire that is going to burn through some shit in you. So there's a term that is used in the yogic practices and traditions, that this kriya, this fire. And when we're doing breath work, when we're doing intense spiritual work, if we're doing yoga and there's heat, right? Like when we go into Money Miracles, I'm going to guide you through real breathwork stuff and you're going to feel heat. Your shoulders are going to be burning. Your belly's going to be burning. Your back's going to be burning. This is that fire that is said to be known to burn through emotional, energetic blockages. Now, there's times that heat shows up in your life like you're doing the thing that feels like, this feels scary. It's going to burn through something. Let it burn through something. One of my coaches, Tim Story, he has said something. God gives you heat because you would never order it off the menu. It's not fun. It's not fun. How many times has a fire shown up in your life that you're like, oh my God, this is so intense. But we consciously and unconsciously will avoid the heat and the fires. Christina, I didn't acknowledge you, but I saw you were going to join, and I'm so happy to have you join because I've had you in other things with me, and I know that you're going to benefit. This is going to just benefit you so much. So we can consciously choose the fire. Here's how you consciously choose the fire. You say, I know this makes me uncomfortable. I know this is kind of like shaking me up right now. I know that I'm coming up against my own belief that I won't follow through, Leah. But I am willing to meet myself in this identity because I don't want this identity and this belief to hold me down and haunt me anymore. I'm ready for a new reality. And you show up and you get yourself through this. This is a conscious choosing of the fires that will shake things up. Now, there's other ways fires show up. When we keep avoiding things, divorce happens, even though there was all sorts of red flags. An illness can happen, even though there was all sorts of red flags in our body. We knew that we were tired. We knew we were forcing. A team member, something can happen with our team member. Something happens with our kids. We're just not willing to be present with what's showing up for us. Or we're not willing to trust the nudges, right? Like life will say, I don't know if this is for me, but we're like, it's for me. This is the easiest choice. I'm going to do it. I don't know if this is for me, but I don't know. I don't want to go over there because that seems like growth and work, and it seems like a fire over there. I don't want to walk through the fire. So the fire shows up anyway. So we become these courageous fire walking women that are like, I'm willing to walk through the fire. I'm going to get through it. On the other side, I'm going to be shinier for it. I'm going to be more, have this higher spiritual stamina. And the thing that I teach women is spiritual stamina. Because I'm like, okay, you're feeling this. Let's feel it. I'm going to hold space for you, but we're going to get to the other side of this. So I hope this download has spoken some life into you, ladies. We are going to actually meditate, I promise, but that information was coming through. And here's what I want you to know. The final thing that you must know is that if money is a reason that you're not joining a course that teaches you how to make money and to get over your money traumas, your money blocks, let's call it, your money energetics that inhibit money from coming to you freely, you can't afford to miss it. I mean, I've made it basically free. $197 a month is basically free to me. It's me saying that this work that I know will change your life and that I put so much into, and that I'm holding space for you and coaching you. I'm trusting you with making a payment plan. I'm trusting you to do this, and I'm giving it to you in advance for only $197 a month. You can't afford not to do it. Then you get to do it again and again and again and again. You get the meditations. You get to do them again and again and again. You have a sisterhood. This group is going to close. The replays are no longer going to be available, and you get to come into this space and do this work. So, I forgot to tell you the final ending of this story with the woman that was knee deep in personal development. She joined and she paid in full. But I told her, I said, this is a moment where we get to say, I don't want to abandon myself anymore. I don't want to abandon myself anymore. Now, how many times will we say yes to something that our soul said yes to and we abandon it? And how much longer are we going to be available for this shit? We can't be available for it. We have to literally decide that we're not going to be available for this anymore. So especially you, Leah, I'm talking to you. I know it's going to reach someone else, but you've now said some things in this chat, and I want to thank you for sharing it because it's opening you up. It's opening you up to have a breakthrough here. You've said, I want to do everything myself. Or I try to. I think I could do everything myself. That you think that you can give and receive at the same time. You've been trying maybe in some ways to give and receive at the same time. You are in here and you have a desire to do something, but you have a trauma, right? There's a post-traumatic stress thing that happens when we do something and we let ourselves down. You have that around past experiences. So right now you have an opportunity to go into full-on receivership, to surround yourself with support and change the story and know that you get to be supported. Life and your transformation in this work gets to be easier. You also get to make a new story and decide that you're going to show up in this and you are going to do the work. It's not very hard, this work. It requires your presence. It requires you to listen and to have some discipline. The other thing I want you all to know that's very special about this, Lauren Dorsey was talking about this, is the sisterhood that we create in the 6 weeks. There's going to be days where you don't feel like doing something or that you lose faith. Because 6 weeks, you know that your patterns tend to show up again in like 3 weeks. People can go very strong for 1 week, 2 weeks, but in week 3 and 4, we tend to have these like patterns of, I don't feel like doing this, or I'm tired, or I'm this. It's a pattern that is unconscious that comes to take you back into safety zone or decomposing zone. You have other women in a group that are going to light the fire again for you. You are going to have women in the group that say some shit and you're like, I got to get myself back in the game. This is the power of the collective. And one thing for me is we don't just have groups where people just kind of show up and don't connect. We create true sisterhood in my groups. I mean, have you been in our meditations? We send love to each other. We go a lot deeper in the program where we are really activating the best in each other. So the way I feel is you can't afford to miss it. If you've been on this live and you like it, you can't afford to not go in the group with us. So yes, I saw somebody up here. Hold on. Chris. Yes, it's $197 a month. I make it so easy for you. and make it so easy for you. And here's the thing, people do pay it off early. So some people will be like, I want to pay it off early. Okay, so Leah says, to be honest, I haven't listened to any of your calls this week. I've been feeling the program from the outside, but it's magnetic to me. Then you have to. So I would say this, for anybody that's feeling that, trust that feeling and let's get onto the other side of it. Jessica Bush has already done it, and she's still in these calls, because here's the thing. This is unique. So I want to let you all know, all of the replays from this week, even though I don't even think they're available anymore. I think they went away last night. They're going to be in the program. So you get them as a bonus. They're all there, because I'll tell you, the stuff we did this past 5 days is just a little bit different than what's in the course. The course is designed to do other things for you. It's the same energy. It has the same goal, but it's unique. So yes, you can pay it off earlier. So Franny says, I see people in my business do that all the time. They're in for a couple of weeks and fall back into patterns. Yes. So this happens in business so much, but I'll tell you, there's this interesting thing that happens, is that fear masquerades as logic. I didn't make that quote up. Somebody else made it up. I don't know the author, or I would quote them right now. But fear masquerades as logic. And this is what this means. That fear shows up and it's really saying, I'm not worthy. I'm scared. I don't know how. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can afford it. But it shows up as, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to wait till I'm ready. I'm going to wait until this feels better for me. I'm going to wait till I feel like I'm good enough to be here. And here's what I want you to know. That you get to tell fear, this isn't it. One thing my friend Marie Claire says, if you all have not listened to the podcast with myself and my friend Marie Claire, go listen. Marie Claire is, she's a miraculous woman. She lives in the miracle realm. So much so that I brought her in for my Miracle Vision Mastermind. She's going to be teaching this month in March. I want you to know that she says this thing. That fear is not of spirit. That doubting yourself is not of spirit. Doubting how much money you can make is not of spirit. Thinking you're not going to have enough money 3 months from now, that is not of spirit. And I want you to know, like, this is something I start telling myself, because I feel fear. I feel my own fears around things. Because like I said, it may be easy for me to spend, $900 a night on hotel rooms these days. But I'll tell you, thinking of having a $10 million house, that's the next level, right? So I have to notice these things and notice where my awareness catches these subtleties, and I have to just pull them away and say, this is not of spirit. Like, this shit is not of spirit. My spirit is infinite. It creates nothing out of something. It's here. It's omnipresent, omnipotent. It's at all places, at all times. For me to doubt that is for me to doubt my own possibilities, and I'm not available for that anymore. So we have to literally, it's a retraining. And that's what Money Miracles is. Money Miracles is a retraining for you to let go of the BS, to let go of the belief systems, to let go of the fear, and then come into the space of knowing that there's more, but retraining your body and subconscious. And speaking of body, my belly is just growling right now. I don't know if you guys could hear it. So how many of you are actually already signed up for Money Miracles right now? We open up the new group on Monday, and we are going to start. The modules come out Monday morning. You do it at your own pace. You're going to see me in the Facebook group. You see how I just jumped in here and just start channeling whatever needs to come through? That's what happened in the Money Miracles group. And not only that, the women in the group are sharing all of their inspiring wins. I don't know if you all saw, one of the women, she signed up for Money Miracles. She just had this miracle that happened this week, so I get it. She put her miraculous amount to manifest. That was $25,000. She put that. She was like, my miraculous amount was $25,000. She did it when I asked you all to do it earlier in the week. And it wasn't just the getting by money. It was like the thriving money. What do you want to call it? She signed a contract. I think it was a couple hours later or the next day. And she got her $25,000. So we have life listening to what we ask for. But here's what we have to know. Sometimes we can lose our faith in life because we think, well, I've been asking life, where's my money? But you're asking with your conscious mind only. Your subconscious mind is saying, no, boo, we don't deserve that yet. Your subconscious mind is like, but I'm scared I won't do good things with that money. Your subconscious mind is like, I don't think I'm worthy of that money because I've always been financially irresponsible my family is financially irresponsible. I don't know what to do with that kind of money. That's why it doesn't come. When you get into the place where it's locked and loaded and you get your subconscious on board, but remember, you can't take yourself there. You can take yourself there with years and years of reprogramming and repeating. But if you allow yourself to be in a state of receivership and you fully freaking let go and you go into a space where you are open to reprogramming these beliefs and letting it in, things are going to happen fast. Things are going to happen quick. It changes things for you. So I saw the ladies that are in already. Who is joining in now? I know Christina's joining in. Chris, are you joining? Leah, are you joining into this? Because by now, you just know that you need to be in there. And I'm not a need kind of girl. I'm not a you should kind of girl. But it's so clear when things happen for us and when we're meant to be somewhere and meant to have an experience. And that's what I want you all to know. So yes, if you have a friend that did this miracle week with you and they should watch this video, tag them. Leah, high five. Double high fives. I'm so excited because here's what I love. The people that resisted it the most give me the best testimonials. Here's why. Because they're like, I don't think I should. And then they get the breakthrough and then they're like, damn, I got my miracle. And that's what I want you to know, that there is something waiting for you on the other side. But for a lot of people right now, there is fear masquerading as logic. Somebody literally told me last night, this week was so emotional for me. I had so many breakthroughs, but I just really want to be in the right space when I join this program. That does not make any sense. Your emotional body is saying, there's something moving here for me. Your emotional body is saying, there's a clearing happening for me. When your emotional body is responding to this, you got to keep going. Because our emotional body is letting us know that there's something here for us. And what I know to be true is that if something is not touching you emotionally, then it's not for you. And if something's not touching you emotionally, remember what I said, that charge, like an affirmation. You can say an affirmation all damn day, but if you don't plug it in to that energy, and emotion is energy in motion. So when you are feeling it, and to say, I need to be in the right place, that is that fear masquerading as logic. What is the right place to be in? Do you want to be broke for another year? Would you feel more at peace if you were broke for 2 more years before you joined this program? Let me know. I'll tell you what, the price is definitely going up for this program, because even this time, Donna was writing me like, do you want to take the price up? And I was like, should I raise it to just $2,000 flat? But then I was like, we'll do one more round at this. This feels good. And then we'll raise it. But I'm just really curious. I want you all to really look into this and ask, will I feel more at peace to have more emotional struggle, more doubts with my money, more unworthiness, more feeling like I'm not it for 2 more years? Or would you just feel better just to struggle like that until summer? Let me know. But I'm giving you a hard time with this because it's actually funny when we start asking those kind of questions, right? So, ladies, let's actually meditate now, shall we? We've been talking for I don't even know how long. I've been having my coffee. We are all like ready to go. Chanel's super packed up. You should see my stuff is like all over the closet, all over here. I'm like, I'm going to sit down with my ladies. There's things that we have to say. Spirit is working through me because here's what I know. We are about to have a spiritual like marathon for 6 weeks. A spiritual money marathon where we're just getting spiritually strong. We are getting emotionally amplified. We are getting energetically clear. And we are getting unapologetic about our desire for having more money now. And we deserve that. And I want as many women as I can get into this. And not because of my own money, because look, I'm financially good right now. I'm great. I'm not even going to say I'm good. I'm phenomenal. Things are better than ever. But what I want for all of us is all of us to be there. All of us to be there. And what I know is that this program unlocks that for people. And we're going to have so much fun. I'm ready for the magic carpet. Ready for takeoff. I'm already on the magic carpet ready for takeoff. I love that visual. All right. So let's shake out what we need to shake out. I feel like I need to do that for myself. Give yourself something. If you need to shake something out, if you need to roll your shoulders, if you need to do something, do it. We're going to meditate. Money Miracles is a movement. It literally is. It's a feminine spiritual approach to money. And it's something that's really powerful. And I'm so excited that we get to do it together. So let's close our eyes once you feel like you have gotten into that space. And I want you to begin taking some deep breaths, ballooning your belly out. The breath should be moving deeper beyond the chest into your diaphragm, and do so that your belly literally balloons out. Filling yourself up fully, taking a moment to savor that breath at the top, pausing, and then letting go. Practice that movement with the breath. Practice that ability to pause at the top, at the full. Allowing yourself to be full for a moment. Remember that state of receivership that I talk about, being fully able to receive. We can practice that habit right here with our breath. Deep breath in, holding it for a moment, fully receiving, and then fully letting go. We don't have to hang on to everything forever. We can be in this state of receiving and giving, receiving and giving, receiving and letting go, making space for the next. So now do this breath, and I want you to hold on to the feeling of love. Love for yourself, just the feeling of being unconditionally loved. Whatever feels true for you in this moment, I want you to breathe and take that in. And I want you to take a moment to look for the places that love is demonstrated all over your life. Where is love demonstrating itself in your life? Look for the places. Look at your relationships. Look at your home. Look at yourself. Where is love showing up in full-on demonstration? And now, deepening the breath. Letting go of that whole ballooning your belly situation and just deepening. I want you to do some empowering breaths. And as you take some empowering breaths, you shift your body to move into a state of empowerment. I want you to look around at all the ways that life has supported you. I want you to look for synchronicities, miracles unfolding, the unexpected that pleased you, that made you feel like there's something here with me. I'm not alone in this. And to see right now that you are supported by this same intelligence, that it's here with you. It's always here within you, around you, in its fullness. But you may not be willing to see it. You may not be willing to allow it in. You may see something as too good to be true or not for you yet. But the support is always here. The opportunities are always here. Your potential is always here. So I want you to speed up the breath now. I want you to breathe in a way that feels like you are revving your body up, waking yourself up. If you knew that you could breathe in a way that would just rev your body up, wake you up, breathe that way now. And I want you to hold the intention, or just listen to me because your body's listening as we do this. that you deserve more. And that more wants you. You have to say yes to it. It has to be a mind yes. It has to be a body yes. It has to be a spirit yes. But spirit says yes when you have the desire. So breathe in that way, getting your energy big to get your money energy big. You deserve more, and more desires you. You have to say yes to it. The opportunities are here, seen and unseen, waiting on your yes. So see yourself right now happy, blissed out, excited, celebrating. See yourself as you have a full-on recognition that you deserve more and more desires you. The opportunities seen and unseen are here for you. That life is awaiting your yes. See yourself just smiling so big, heart so full, body relaxed and at bliss. You are magnetic and abundant, and you recognize yourself. This is your authentic self. Now have a moment of gratitude for giving this to yourself, for doing the work that it takes. The unlearning, the unraveling, the becoming. Yes, the becoming. You are becoming that person. Every choice, every decision takes you further, away or closer. So you're choosing to move closer. The becoming. And she's so radiant. She's so happy. She's free. Her vision is big. Her bank account is big. Her circle is supportive. The love in her life is overflowing. She's tuned into the secrets of life. And it feels incredible. Feel it. Allow it in. Smile about it, even on your actual face right now. Feel gratitude overwhelm your heart as you say yes to yourself in a way you've never said yes to yourself before. We invite in miracles. We ask that our vision be clear, that our inner vision expand, that the opportunities seen and unseen become crystal clear to us, and we begin to take action, aligned action. Our spiritual stamina is increasing. And we recognize that we deserve support, and the support is here for us. So we collectively say yes to yourself. Say yes out loud. Say yes to that vision of yourself. And now send this same love to somebody in your life. Send this same love. See this on some other woman. See that they now recognize themselves as pure bliss, as emotionally, financially free, that they see that their cup is overflowing. See them this way. Bless them. Bless one other person. And now we come back to ourselves, and you see yourself sitting right where you're sitting, and you see that you have been doing so much work. You have been trying so hard. You show up for yourself. You love yourself, and now it's time to go even further. And you decide to take yourself into places, situations, opportunities. And you decide to say yes to yourself in ways you've never said yes to yourself before. And that means that you get a result in life that you've never received before. And it is beautiful. I now speak the word for each and every one of us here, those that will be joining us on the replay, that each one of us is here to do something so big, so beautiful, so profound. It is our success on a spiritual level. It is our success on a financial level. It is our success on a personal level. That it is our fulfillment, our destiny, and we wake up to it now. And I set this free, knowing it is done in the mind of the divine, and so it is. So ladies, welcome back. Welcome back. I am going to leave you all here to stay in the state of whatever that brought up for you, whatever you felt in that. I want you to remember that whatever you saw in consciousness is possible. It is real. We must see it in consciousness and hold it in consciousness before we can hold it in our physical hands. Consciousness comes first. So I'm inviting all of you to get into this program if you have not already. Get in, do this for yourself. If you know a friend that should be in this program with you, reach out to them. Tell them to join. Tell them to join. Get them in this with you. Get them into this group. Have them listen to this call. It's time for us to do more, and not because we have to force or make it hard. In fact, I'm going to teach you to not make it hard. I'm going to teach you to break up with this idea of hard, but I am going to teach you how to develop your spiritual stamina and show up for a challenge, to show up for the fires, and to get onto the other side because the reward will be worth it. All right, my friends. So Leah, I will see you in the group. My friends, I can't wait to get to know you ladies even more, because that's a thing in the group. We just get to know each other on a better level. We get to know each other. And we are done with this hard shit. The only thing hard that we want are things that we actually want. Diamonds, something else. Maybe I'm not going to say it here. My daughter's behind me. But we want other things hard, not life. All right. So my friends, have a beautiful day. I will see you in the group. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you need anything from my team, please reach out. We are here for you. This group closes, and when this group closes, we're going to be opening up the actual Sisterhood for Money Miracles, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be emotional, but it's going to be worth it. All right, ladies. So I will see you all later. Amanda Fernandez, I feel like this could be a really good program for you. I know that you're in my Miracle Vision Mastermind, but the Mastermind is different. This one just complements, and it will just help you activate everything that you're already doing. So yes, ready for queen shit. I feel that. We're doing it. So ladies, I love you. I will see you soon. Bye.